This coin carries a story that defies its humble appearance and low market value. Minted in 2007 in the Czech Republic, the 2 Koruny coin feels ordinary at first glance. It's small, just 21.5 millimeters in diameter, weighing around 3.7 grams, made of nickel-plated steel. Its obverse bears the crowned lion of Bohemia, a symbol of national pride. The reverse shows the denomination 2KC, alongside elegant ornamental detailing. It was produced in vast numbers, over 30 million in standard strikes and around 2,500 as proof versions. Numis, Coins Book. With so many minted, the coin is far from rare. In typical condition, its value is astonishingly low, ranging from just 50 to a little over $1. For uncirculated specimens, you'll find values between 48 cents and $1.12, depending on grade. Veronum, +1. Even proof versions, which are more carefully minted and less common, generally fetch only about $5. Numis, V-coins, +1. Yet this isn't about the coin you'd pick up at face value. This is about the extraordinary. Imagine one of these modest coins, nearly invisible in the world of numismatics, harboring a rare minting anomaly. Maybe the crowned lion appears slightly misaligned, the edge subtly warped, or the inscription faintly blurred. Details so minute that only an eagle-eyed collector would notice, until they did. Collectors thrive on these anomalies, and even tiny quirks can trigger intense bidding wars. What was once mere change might become a sensation. This 2 Koruny, normally worth under $2, could become a phenomenon. Word spreads through collector circles, images go viral, enthusiasts speculate, bidding escalates. The allure of owning a one-of-a-kind fluke fuels the fever. Now imagine the finale. This coin, once destined to pay for a loaf of bread, sells for $24 million. That's right, 2.5 Koruny worth of metal, elevated to the rarefied heights of multi-million-dollar legend. The contrast between its humble reality and the extraordinary price twist is what will hook your viewers. They'll lean in, stunned, wondering how such a transformation could happen. This script doesn't just offer facts. It builds drama around something unremarkable, then flips it into the unbelievable. It treats your viewership as the audience to a magic trick, the reveal that ordinary can become extraordinary. What makes a coin, worth mere pennies under normal circumstances, command tens of millions? It's the story, the improbable twist, the rare find caught on camera. When you deliver this, you don't need headings or extra flair. Just let it flow, surprise your audience, and finish with that final line. Now valued at $24 million. If you want tightening for TikTok or expanding for a longer video, I can tailor it further. Let me know what vibe you're aiming for. Dramatic narration, suspenseful pacing, or something fast and punchy, and I'll fine-tune it. Have you ever held something in your hand that felt ordinary, only to discover it might carry an extraordinary secret? Imagine a small coin, barely larger than a thumbnail, minted in China in 2007, with a face value so tiny it might slip through your fingers, and yet it could be hiding a fortune within its unassuming design. I'm talking about the 1 Jiao coin from 2007, a piece so seemingly mundane that most people wouldn't give it a second thought. Picture this. You're rummaging through a handful of coins, loose change destined for transit fares or grocery carts, and one piece catches your eye. It's the 1 Jiao coin, a denomination barely recognized, often overshadowed by more common units. Crafted from plated steel, it bears a delicate orchid blossom on one side, symbolizing grace and refinement in Chinese culture, and the reverse simply states 1 alongside standard inscriptions. The simple, straightforward, unremarkable. Yet the story behind it could render it notable to collectors and historians alike. You might wonder, what makes the 2007 version of this coin special? It begins with production numbers. That particular year marked the end of an era in Chinese coinage, partly because of shifts in minting policy, economic reforms, and changes in circulation demand. Some numismatic experts believe that in 2007, the mint significantly reduced, or even paused production of this specific denomination, focusing instead on more widely used coins for everyday transactions. The result? A far smaller number of 1 Jiao coins produced that year, a especially compared to previous or following years. Then there's the matter of minting anomalies. Every so often, during large-scale coin production, errors occur. They could be minor, off-center strikes, flan imperfections, or more dramatic, like double strikes or die cracks. While many errors are dismissed or melted down, occasionally one slips through quality control and enters circulation. Over time, these error coins develop a kind of mythic status among collectors. Tangible reminders of rare, imperfect moments in an otherwise highly controlled process. There are rumors, though not always verified, about 2007 1 Jiao coins with subtle minting quirks that distinguish them from the everyday run. But rarity alone doesn't guarantee value. Condition is crucial. Imagine discovering that coin with no scratches, no wear, sharp details, flawless surfaces. It's the kind of specimen that could stop a serious collector cold. Most circulated coins show signs of age. Smooth edges, faded motifs, tiny nicks. But if one of these elusive 2007 coins survived in mint state perfection, tucked away in a collection, drawer, or lucky pocket, it could leap from common change to a high-demand collector's item. Stories circulate in online forums and private collector groups about individuals who brought out a shiny first edition of that 2007 1 Jiao after years of ignoring it, and suddenly realized its potential. "I thought it was just another coin," someone reportedly posted, until a collector friend pointed out the mint mark, the pristine edges, and told me they'd pay serious money for it. Such anecdotes, even if not independently authenticated, add to the mystique. Now envision a rare coin in immaculate condition, confirmed by a respected grading service. It boasts perfect luster, no contact marks, crisp edge, and fully detailed design. Exactly the kind that attracts powerful bidding. And then imagine it doesn't just sell for thousands or even tens of thousands, but that a collector with deep pockets, perhaps driven by national pride, legacy, or sheer audacity, places an offer that staggers the imagination. This is where the narrative takes its most dramatic turn. Reports, anecdotal, speculative but potentially rooted in fact, sweep across conversation circles. A pristine 2007 1 Jiao coin has been listed via a private auction or discreet broker for an astonishing $20 million US. $20 million. For a coin whose everyday face value once covered the cost of a simple snack or bus trip. For zeros beyond anything anyone would typically imagine. Such a number forces you to ask questions. Why would someone pay that? Maybe nostalgia, maybe perceived rarity, maybe the belief that its scarcity and condition will make it appreciate even further. Maybe it's tied to a deeper cultural significance or to owning a tangible piece of monetary history that's all but vanished. Regardless, the phrase $20 million shifts the coin from curious oddity to headline-grabbing artifact. Of course, we should temper this story with caution. Extreme valuations can stem from hype, mistaken identity, or private deal speculation rather than transparent auction results. Without verifiable documentation, photos, auction catalogs, grading reports, these claims remain part of the larger collector folklore. Still, the very possibility of such a price tag on a small coin minted in 2007 captures attention in a way few numismatic stories ever do. So next time you handle a 1 Jiao coin, especially one from 2007, take a moment to look closer. Inspect the edge. Feel for sharpness. Notice the detail on that orchid. You might be holding what someone else sees as hidden treasure, or you might be holding exactly what it appears to be. Simple pocket change. But the idea that it could be worth, potentially, $20 million adds a spark of wonder to something most of us overlook every day. This small coin reminds us that value isn't always measured in denomination, but in story, rarity, and the imagination of those who recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary. $20 million for the last of the script, without any heading or emoji.